Let's hoop it up here on Hold My Banner. Welcome. Travis Thomas here with the walking, talking, triple-double himself, Ountae Campbell. How you doing, Poppy?
I'm doing good, TTs. I'm doing really good because New York's going to lose.
Yeah, they are.
Tonight.
Yeah, New York, you're hey, spoiler alerts, because we are previewing the game. New York, you're finished. You're toast. Now, I do want to say this, though, before we get into it.
Yeah.
Watching these Oklahoma City Thunder.
Man.
Bro, I feel like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's pointing. I swear, we've seen this before in town right here.
Yeah.
The Celtics beat the hell out of everyone last year in the regular season.
Yep.
Then we got to the postseason and we thought, things get tougher. They're going to be in long series. Teams are going to challenge them in the East and the West. Wrong. They beat the hell out of everyone there, too.
Yeah.
Now you look up, Oklahoma City did the same thing. Regular season, beat down. Playoffs, beat down. And by the way, I think it's inevitable. They win the title just like the Celtics last season.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's inevitable as well. You can't say beat down. They did beat a hobbled Nuggets team at the end of the season in 7. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give the Nuggets some credit because they made that series interesting. Game 7 wasn't interesting.
So they had one challenging series.
Yes.
Also, I would say, I would say the clunker they lost against the Timberwolves, where the Timberwolves destroyed them.
Yeah.
That didn't happen to the Celtics.
Right.
Also, I would probably say the Celtics had more star power. Is that fair?
Yes.
Tatum, Brown, even Porzingis to a certain extent. Derrick White emerged. Drew Holiday's respected as a champ. This team is, SGA has arrived.
Yes.
But
he's MVP, though, so you have to give him.
I'm saying he's arrived.
Right.
That's what I mean. And then, his supporting cast are budding stars. Is that fair?
Yes.
So that's a little different.
Yes, and I mean, I do want to give respect to Jalen Williams, too, because he is defensive player, first team all-defense, third team all-NBA.
Your casual fan doesn't know him?
Your casual
fan knows who Drew Holiday is?
Stardom-wise, yes, he's budding.
He's budding.
He's budding as well. But, I mean, that team is a lot like the Celtics in their makeup last year. I would agree with that. Chet is the Porzingis archetype. Hardenstein is more of like the Al Horford archetype. You know what I'm saying? So they're
similar.
I can see the similarities.
All right, so we'll talk Thunder more later in the show, and of course we'll preview tonight's game between the Knicks and the Pacers.
Yes.
But let's start here. I just want to set the table here, okay? We were not on the boat partying with Stephon Diggs. However, this is going to be a little crazy, okay? We have trade scenarios, and the reason why we're doing this is twofold. One, we've been talking this on this show, and the numbers have been going crazy. We got the internet going nuts.
Right.
So we're leaning into that. So we want those clicks. So thank you. Keep it up. Two, Ountae tells me the group chat has been going crazy. People have been hitting you up. You've been getting DMs with all these crazy trades. So I thought, you know what? Let's just start the show and go crazy.
I definitely got a crazy DM, crazy couple chats the other night. As we were watching this Thunder win, people were feeling a little spicy mouth. You know what I mean? Seeing SGA get Western Conference Player of the Finals or whatever, MVP. They were talking a little spicy mouth. And some people were saying they would trade SGA.
Say what?
For Jayson Tatum.
Who said that? The people in your DMs?
Some people in my DMs.
That were spicy mouth said walk me through this. That what?
Said that they would trade Jayson Tatum right now for SGA. I want to know how you feel about that.
I mean, well, yeah. What's the question?
Huh?
What you mean, huh?
What, you would trade Jayson Tatum.
You can't hear now?
For SGA.
You all right?
You said, is this thing going?
Sir,
let me make sure you're paying attention to what I'm saying.
This is MVP of the league.
Oh, my God.
How many MVPs does Jayson Tatum have?
None.
Okay.
So nothing about loyalty.
Now, loyalty, by the way.
Championships.
By the way, respectfully, Tatum's a champion.
Right.
But we all think SGA's about to be one, too.
About to be.
I'm just saying, respectfully.
So getting to the Eastern Conference Finals all them years for Tatum don't mean nothing?
I never said nothing don't mean nothing. I said I would trade Tatum for SGA. You damn right I would. And then loyalty in sports? Since when? How's never sound?
Hey.
Yes, I'm not spicy mouth like the people sliding in the DM, okay? Right. I'm not out here broadcasting and manufacturing and banging the drum, trade Jayson Tatum for SGA. First of all, OKC ain't doing that. They don't want that. They're like, no, we're good with our guy.
Right.
Hell yeah.
And Boston is like, we good with our guy too.
Boston might be like that, not me.
Wait till this clip comes out. They're gonna be mad at you.
Look at my
take the mic away.
Janae, give me the ISO. Give me the ISO, please.
Oh my God.
Ain't nobody worried about y'all. If y'all come for me, fine, cool. But if you really sit back and you ask yourself, right now, today, would I trade Jayson Tatum for SGA? You know the answer. I don't even got to say nothing to you. I'm just bold enough to say, hell yeah. You want some more names?
Yeah.
Giannis.
Oh, my God. Wemby?
Johnny, ISO cam, please. Wemby. Any more?
Bron?
Hell no.
Luka?
Jason, we love you. Who?
Luka?
Jason, we love you, dog.
Okay. I was just making sure.
That might be the list.
Jokic?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jason.
I know.
Hey, put the ISO cam on me for a second.
I'm sorry.
Jason, look, I'm just letting you know, I'm not with that guy next to me. I don't know him. I just work with him. I try to introduce him to a cool couple people.
He done met my whole family.
I don't like him.
Look,
I'm out on that.
It's a short list. Wemby, yes. SGA, yes. Jokic, yes. Giannis, yes.
Oh,
I think that's it. Yes, I would.
I don't even want to.
Jaylen Brown, too.
Yeah, I wasn't even going to ask you about 7. I don't want to be looped in with this.
You wouldn't? Yes. Can we have this conversation since I'm the bad guy? And believe me, you're never going to see a bad guy like this again. But you wouldn't trade. Let me ask you the same thing.
Yeah.
So, Tatum, there's no one in the NBA you trade Tatum for, honestly.
Wemby.
That's it.
Wemby.
Okay, so why? Then let's examine the other names.
Yeah.
Why not Jokic?
Because he's older. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have a game that seems like he's going to fade quickly, obviously because his athleticism isn't a big part of what he does. But the age, fitting with the timeline of the team, with the money and all this other stuff right now, with JB still being hurt, I'm cool on that. If I'm going to take out Tatum and say, all right, we're not sure what Tatum's going to be after Achilles surgery and all this other stuff, I want to put my eggs in the basket with a young star. And Wemby, yeah, he had the blood clots and all this other stuff. That is a area of concern.
Assuming.
But if I'm going to take a chance on health,
right,
I'm going to take a chance on the 7-footer who we all think is going to win a couple MVPs.
You don't have to explain Wemby. Right. I want to know why the others. All right, so Jokic was age. So I'm going to lump Giannis into the same answer.
Yeah.
Age?
Yeah, I'd probably say age.
Okay.
Also, availability is the best ability. This year, he was available for the playoff run that they had. The last couple of years, he hasn't been available. Tatum has been there for us every single step of the way, even when other stars got hurt with the Celtics. I would rather have Tatum coming off of Achilles than Giannis. I'm
going to move to SGA, but I'm going to push back a little.
Yes.
In that, Giannis is probably, first of all, he's not injury prone. Thank you for making sure you said, hey, the last couple seasons he's been banged up. It's not like we're saying
during the playoffs.
During the playoffs, we're not saying the guy's injury prone.
No.
However, I could argue Giannis got hurt because of usage rate. And because they have nothing.
And what would it be when he gets to the Celtics?
Well, hold on. Stay with me.
Okay.
Tatum has been available and hasn't had an injury until now because he's had more help around him.
Okay.
And we talk about and we praise him for being able to facilitate and get everyone involved. He's that kind of superstar.
Right.
So I'm saying Giannis in the same situation or scenario that Tatum's in maybe wouldn't have some of the banged up thing. That's all. That's how I would push back a little bit on that.
I mean, we would have to find out. But
we'll never know any of this.
I just think going in the direction that we're going in the NBA, you want guys who can space the floor at an elite level and do those things. Giannis doesn't bring those things, which is why he's had trouble building a team around him in Milwaukee.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he
Milwaukee's had trouble building. Why are you anti-Giannis?
I mean, I'm not anti-Giannis. I'm just saying they gave him, when you talk about a package of Chris Middleton was an elite scorer at the time. Drew Holiday was an elite two-way guard at that time. You talk about floor spacing, you had one of the best shooting bigs probably in the league and honestly could be in NBA history.
They won a title
with Brook Lopez.
They won one title and then they couldn't keep it together. That's not Giannis's fault.
They were all still there. Except for Drew, and they were old. And then they went and got him Dame, and Dame didn't work out, but
they tried.
You got to give some credit to Giannis in that, too, that it didn't work out. I know Dame obviously gets the blame for that, but, Giannis has a part to play in them not working out as well.
Sure. Okay, let's move on to SGA because you can't use the age thing there.
Yes.
You certainly can't use the production aspect.
Yes.
Is it because he's a guard?
Yeah, I just think guards are gonna win you a championship this year. You know what I'm saying? But as far as what we talk about historically between SGA and Tatum, like I think they do a lot of similar things. Obviously, SGA is more of an aggressive scorer in the mid-range and those type of things. But as far as like getting their teammates involved and doing these things, I think they do a lot of similar things. But Tatum's done it here. Like, why would I trade that for something that's gonna give us exactly what we already have? You know what I'm saying? Tatum,
the injury.
Yeah, I hear you with the injury, but he's done it here. I feel loyal to that he's done it here.
Yeah.
He knows what it takes to win here. He knows who he is. He knows everybody knows how to play around him. All of that stuff matters. If you ship him out and you get SGA and you don't know how the chemistry and all that fits together with this team.
Okay, as far as Jaylen Brown.
Yes.
Were people sending you asinine ideas or were there actual trades? Because we've talked trades on this show with Jaylen Brown. That made sense. We've walked through trades that we would do.
Yeah.
What were you getting from the peeps?
So I did scroll through Twitter and I saw one of these tweets from a Grizzlies fan account or whatever, Grizzlies season.
For Ja Morant.
And they said Jaylen Brown could be a dream trade target for the Grizzlies this offseason per Bleacher Report.
That's what it is, a damn dream.
Right.
Because it ain't happening.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It is a dream. And I think it's a dream because there's not much that the Celtics could really want from Memphis in this scenario. But I did play the game. I played the game.
What do they have?
I played the game. And, I'm not checking the matching salaries, but I think this would help get under, you know what I mean? The amount that the Celtics would take in would be under what they're giving to Memphis. And I thought about Desmond Bane.
I like him.
Scottie Pippen Jr. And the 2027 first-round pick from the Memphis Grizzlies for Jaylen Brown.
I hate everything.
How do you feel about that?
I hate everything. First of all,
I don't want to trade
none
Jaylen
of us.
Brown.
We don't want that. This whole segment's we're having fun.
Right.
I don't want any of that. I don't hate Bane, but I don't want him.
Right.
By the way, if we're talking Jaylen Brown to the Grizzlies, it starts with Ja Morant. Not that I want Ja Morant, but it starts there.
I know.
We got to go band for band. You're not going to give me your scraps and a draft pick. I like Bane. I don't care. Unless it's Scottie Pippen Sr. in his prime, I ain't interested in Junior.
Nah, Junior can play, dog.
He can play, but he ain't. I'm not trading Jaylen Brown for Bane, him, and a draft pick. That's not enough.
Okay.
If we're talking Jaylen Brown, you got to talk to me about Ja Morant, or I'm hanging up the phone. And I don't even like Ja Morant.
I mean, I think you're disrespecting Bane and Scottie Pippen Jr. a little bit. Two-way stars. Bane was a borderline, you know what I mean? All-star at one point. He could shoot the ball. So can Scottie Pippen. Two really good shooters, two really good defenders. Fit the Celtics identity, you know what I'm saying? And you're giving away a draft pick.
Yes.
That draft pick could be worth something because we don't, I think the public sentiment is that we don't really believe in Ja Morant anymore.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we don't believe in that, or we don't believe in his ability to carry a team.
It's his maturity.
Right.
We don't believe in his maturity.
Right. And so how would that work with Jaylen Brown? We don't know. You know, it could be a dumpster fire over there. They did just fire their head coach. They're just trying to figure things out, right?
Yeah.
So that 2027 pick, which isn't too far away, could be a really good draft pick for that team. So you could end up having a lottery pick and two really good players in the Boston Celtics who are ready to play with Jayson Tatum. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't like it as well. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, we're just talking.
I'm just saying, it might be a possibility that somebody might think about and might like.
We talk for a living. Let us cook. Now, here's the thing that we don't talk about when we throw all these trade ideas around. If I'm Jaylen Brown, I mean, some of these teams we're talking Grizzlies, no thanks, because everything you just laid out, well said. I mean, honestly, I've been throwing this team out. Jaylen Brown for Giannis, right?
Yeah.
If you're Jaylen Brown, I ain't going there. So some of these teams don't even make sense where he could veto something.
Right.
Unless we're talking the Rockets. Unless we're talking the Rockets.
Well, what do you want from them?
I don't know. That's the thing, because they do have a young roster.
Right.
I imagine
I don't want Jalen Green. Like, I understand
like
that.
him.
I understand that that's where the conversation starts. Like how you said, Ja is where the conversation starts with them. With Houston, Jalen Green is where it starts. And I just don't like the fit here in Boston with Tatum. I just don't think we need a guy that's going to come in and jack and still trying to figure out who's the guy.
Like he's too ball-centric almost?
No, but I'm just saying we already did that where, is JB the guy, is JT the guy? Is it Kyrie's team or is it JT?
It would be that all over.
I don't need that again.
Yeah.
Everyone understands. This is JB's team.
Right.
We don't need a young guy who's going to come in, who's looking to prove himself, still trying to figure out if he's an NBA All-Star and all this other stuff, all these dreams and aspirations. We need guys who are ready to come in and win championships. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if Jalen Green's going to come in and be like he is in Houston, where he's trying to solidify himself as the guy, I'm good.
Yeah.
If he's going to come in and say, hey, I'm ready to win a chip, it's your team, I'm good, then fine. It can start there. We can have that conversation.
I guess my point is I don't know what the trade would look like from that standpoint,
right?
Assets for assets, but I just feel as though that's a place Jaylen Brown would be open to going because of Ime. And that's a contending team, right, depending on what you give up to get him, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what about Derrick White and Porzingis, some of these other guys who we do expect to be on the move?
So,
were people talking about that at all?
Yeah, so the MFFL, the Mavericks fan base is out here shouting out CBS Sports that they put out a mock trade for Derrick White. And the Celtics would get in return P.J. Washington, Caleb Martin, Dwight Powell, a 2029 and 2032 first-round pick. What do you think about this one, Travis?
I mean, again, we preface everything by saying we don't want any of these guys to go, but this is business. I don't hate that trade. The only thing about that is, here's why. I don't know comparison to other teams, if you're going to get more than that.
Yeah.
I really don't. I know the Warriors want him.
Yeah.
I know the Spurs would take him back, right?
Yeah.
But what are you getting in return? That trade that you just laid out, I don't hate what you're getting back in return for Derrick White. I don't know if there's a bigger payout, in other words.
I would agree. I don't want to trade Derrick White. I'm kind of in the camp of like loyalty once again. And I think this is a guy that next year we'll see his real full untapped potential. Like I think this is a guy that probably could have averaged 20 points a game for the Celtics the last couple of years. You know what I'm saying?
But he's been facilitating,
being in that role, being a guy, like I said, accepting the role.
That's right.
Willing to win a championship. Now that we have JT out, I think we're in for a pretty big year out of Derrick White.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm really in love with the back half of that trade. P.J. Washington, great player. We talked about him in the last episode with the trade with KP, right? I obviously like his game a lot. But the Caleb Martin streakiness, the White Powell is kind of on his way out of the league, it feels like, you know what I'm saying? And then with those 2 first-round picks, with them having Kyrie, with them having AD, with them drafting Cooper Flag in this upcoming draft, which, I wish Boston could get in on that instead.
I mean, if we talking fantasy, can we make that happen?
Nico, if you want to make another one happen, dog, our phone lines are open.
Yeah, hey, Nico. Yeah, this is Brad Stevens. How you doing, man? Hey, listen, I'm just here to fleece you like everyone else. You ready to talk? Great.
Yeah, if that were the case, that would be a little bit different, but that's not the case. They're going to draft Cooper Flag here, as we all assume. Yeah. And so this team is probably going to be pretty good in 2029 and 2032, which means those first-round draft picks aren't as valuable as I would like. So
what about Porzingis? Are people trying to ship him off or what?
So they are trying to ship him off.
All right.
This one is also from Bleacher Report. Andy Bailey, predicts the Los Angeles Lakers will trade Rui Hachimura, Maxi Kleber, a first-round pick in 2030 pick swap, 2032 first-round pick swap to land Kristaps Porzingis. What do you think about this?
I mean, I'd take this too. This feels inevitable that he's gone. And again, as I'm looking at this return on the investment, right, of trading Porzingis to the Lakers for that, it's a decent return back.
Yeah.
Rui, I covered in Washington. I covered his draft and his subsequent time with the Wizards. He is what he is.
Yeah.
He is at his peak now.
Yeah.
He is a solid NBA serviceable player who can get you some boards, he can get you some points. He is consistent. He does play defense. He's a great teammate, great locker room guy, smart as a whip. But that's what he is. There's no ceiling here.
Right.
Like you're getting what you get, right? But that can work. Listen, the draft picks, I don't hate that trade. And again, a lot of it is because it feels inevitable. Porzingis, Holiday, these are guys that you feel like are going to go. So I'm automatically thinking, what can I get in return and maximize? It's not necessarily a star. It's just what serviceable pieces, role player guys can I get? and how many draft picks.
Yeah.
If that looks solid to me, like this trade, I'd make it.
Yeah, the thing that worries me about this trade is the swap. I think when you have a Luka Doncic, he's an elite floor raiser, right? He might not get you over the hump,
right?
But he's an elite floor raiser. So those picks probably wouldn't end up swapping.
Sure.
I'm also worried about Maxi Kleber being available during the playoffs, which he hasn't been the last couple of years.
Can't count on him.
You can't count on him. I do really like Rui Hachimura, but I don't know if that's enough for the player that KP showed us throughout the whole entire regular season and going back to the regular season and playoffs of last season.
Was there anything with Drew Holiday? Were people trying to?
Yeah, I mean, I seen something about Clippers. I seen something about Kings.
Oh no, Clippers isn't terrible. I guess if it's Clippers, that means Harden's gone, right?
I doubt it.
Because those two aren't. You're not. What's Drew Holiday gonna do with James Harden? I guess he could play. Harden could play too, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like, even though I traded everyone from the roster to start the show, in all honesty, it is like an emotional thing that a lot of these dudes, not Jaylen Brown, not Jayson Tatum, of course, and probably not Derrick White, but certainly some of these other guys like Porzingis and Holiday, we know are going to be gone, and it's a difficult reality to face. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it is a difficult reality. And, with every guy we brought up, I'm like, I don't want to trade them. It's mostly the top three, Derrick White, JB, JT, I don't want out of here. But the other ones I'm okay with seeing to go to brighter pastures, what I'm saying?
Fair enough. All right, coming up here on Hold My Banner, we go from fantasy basketball world to the reality of the Eastern Conference Finals. Hey, Pacers Knicks, Game 5 tonight. We'll have a preview right here on Hold My Banner. Stay with us. Welcome back to Hold My Banner. All right, Ountae, Pacers Knicks, Game 5 tonight. MSG, Knicks fighting for their playoff lives. Do they have more breath, or is it over?
I don't know.
What?
It's not looking good. No, here's my thing. At the top of the show, I said, that it was dead to the Knicks and all this other stuff. And, I'm glad that this camera is on me because I got something I want to show you.
What is this?
I got the red Yankee back out. I'm letting y'all know right now. Game 5, you're going to get it. MSG, respect. Game 6, we out of there. Pacers in 6, dog. It's over this weekend. Before I see you again and you see my pretty face, this series will be dead. We going to the finals. Boston Pacers, we out, dog.
I would like to take this time to apologize to absolutely no one because Knicks fans, you earned all of that. You saw I threw that ugly Yankees hat across the room? I'm sitting here. I'm telling you right now, that hat is gone. It's in another stratosphere. And the whole reason why is because of how you acted when you was here. How dare you come into our garden and talk all that jibber jabber you was talking, starting fights and whatnot. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves the way you conducted yourselves. Here in Boston, we have class. I mean, we might cuss you out, but we have class when we do it. Y'all don't have no damn class. That's your problem. So go raise your banner. Congratulations. You beat the champs. You're going home.
Hey, and after that, guess what? Next weekend, we coming to New York.
No, don't do that.
The Red Sox.
No, don't do that.
Are about to whoop your butt, and then you come into Boston.
Don't do that.
And we whooping your butt again. I don't care what's going on right now.
This ain't the time right now.
We're coming for you next. Boston over New York. We better. Y'all suck. It's our city, our town, our championships. You see the sign. Hold this banner.
I was with him on the last part, but we'll talk about it. All right, so as for tonight.
Yes.
I just think right now the timing. But, hey, maybe this could be the spark the Sox need.
Yes.
All right, I'm with you. As for tonight.
Yeah.
So it's over tonight? Because you said Pacers in 6. You got the Knicks winning tonight?
I do. Unfortunately.
Why?
Unfortunately.
Because it's MSG?
I just think
you can't give me that monologue and then say they're going to win tonight.
Hold on, bro, because when the Celtics were going to MSG, you're like, oh, it's over.
I don't even talk like that.
MSG, the aura of MSG, they're going to be rabid in there. And the fan base is going to do what they do and will this team to a win.
All right.
And MSG, they're going to do that. But when it goes back to Indiana,
Okay.
and we see them yellow shirts in them seats, and everybody is wearing them, and Pat McAfee is screaming and cursing and hollering at the Knicks fans on the microphone, it will be dead. Saturday night.
Yo, I respect that about McAfee. He went full WWE on all them Knicks fans, even the celebrity ones. I thought that was cool. I'll give him that. Look, man, I think it's over tonight. I'm not going to lie to you. Honestly, I just think the Pacers are better.
Yes.
Now that the more games I watch in the series, you remember originally not only did I pick the Knicks, but I thought this would go 7 because you know I do like the Pacers. I liked them last year when they lost to the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. But at the same time, the more I watch these games, I'm like, yo, Tyrese Haliburton right now, what the Haliburton? Bro is hooping.
Yeah.
He is untouchable right now. Carlisle's coaching his arse off.
Yeah.
Tibbs can't.
Yeah.
He's getting outclassed. Brunson, I love Brunson. But in the end, all the scoring's cool. They are attacking you, bro. Like, they're getting you in foul trouble. They're exposing you defensively.
Right.
What's that going to do? Change tonight? Hell no. Cat, you can never count on. Oh, they'll play well.
In foul trouble.
They're attacking him, too. But he's listen, he's been playing great. I don't even want to, get on Bodega Cat right now.
He's been hooping.
But as I watch these games, I'm like, I don't think the Knicks can do anything with these boys. I think it's over tonight.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I just think that if you're going to go into a game thinking that Thibodeau is going to think that this team is going to come in and let Tyrese Haliburton take their throats again and take their hearts again.
Who's stopping him?
Nah, they got a game plan for Bro tonight.
What do you... Okay, let's stay here.
He's not beating them. I can guarantee you that.
Okay, that's
He's
fair.
not beating them. It might be Pascal.
Okay.
Maybe Neesmith goes off again.
That's fair.
Maybe it's the Andrew Nembhard game. Who knows? Even, Mathurin went crazy in the last game.
I like him.
Yeah. But Benedict Mathurin, you know what I'm saying? So, they got a good squad, but it's not going to be Tyrese again. I can guarantee you that.
Okay, let's stay here because I want to unpack. This needs to be therapy.
Okay.
I already told you hate on Tyrese Haliburton, but we don't need to go there.
You're right. This ain't a hate thing.
I know. I'm not even going there with him.
Right.
I'm going with the Pacers. Are you now willing to say that this team is for real? Because last season, when we were in the Eastern Conference Finals, I kept telling you, I was like, I really like this Pacers team. They're not going anywhere. We both thought repeats even coming into the season. But I told you the Pacers are going to be there. And by the way, healthy Tatum, healthy everything. I think this team would have beat the Knicks and then had a challenge against these Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. Celtics would win. But I really believe in this Pacers team, always have. Are you there now? Because you never were.
No.
Why?
You know what you need?
What are you not seeing, Ountae?
You need stars.
Haliburton's a star now.
Yeah, all right.
What do you mean?
We don't agree on that.
Bro, he just had a historic playoff game.
You're right.
Only 3 players in history of the league had a triple-double like he had. Him, the Big O, and Jokic. You're going to tell me he's not a star, bro?
You think I'm worried about a point guard who crab dribbles at the top of the key and cannot get past his man unless he has a screen? Or you think I'm worried about that? No, I'm not.
How would you defend him as a defender?
I would crowd him. Because here's the thing, he gets too wide with his crossovers. He stands straight up and down a lot. He's not low and in the stance.
He's lanky.
Right. If you get into him and you crowd him and you get a physical with him, which you can do in a playoff series, right?
Yeah.
And you're allowing him to not get off of screens. You can't let him come off of screens and be free. You have to fight him off of screens or send him to reject it. You have to do certain things to make him get uncomfortable. When he plays comfortable, which is what the Knicks have allowed him to do, is play comfortable because they haven't challenged anybody to play outside of their box, which I've told you that this entire time, that was going to be the biggest thing for them. If they can't do that, then they were going to have a long series. They have not done that. They have not challenged them to do things. Series. The Pacers have looked like the Pacers.
Right.
There's not been a game where I was like, they were just missing shots if they were losing. That was it. The Pacers have looked like the Pacers and gotten every single thing that they've wanted in every single game, and that's a credit to the Knicks not doing what they were supposed to do. But this is do or die for them tonight.
It is.
And they're going to survive.
Okay, for the record, he's taking the Knicks here in Game 5. I'm going to take the Pacers. I think it's over. But in the end, we both think the Pacers win the series.
Yeah,
so what difference does it make? The games is a formality at this point. When we come back here on Hold My Banner, let's go to the West Side as the Thunder thump the Timberwolves. We'll talk about it next here on Hold My Banner. Stay with us. Hey, welcome back to Hold My Banner. All right, let's talk about it. Western Conference Finals. The Thunder smoke the Timberwolves. 4 games to 1. They reach the finals. It's SGA's time now, bro. All this talk about Anthony Edwards as the face of the league. Wrong. Wrong. SGA is like, it's my time right now.
He's right, and he's right to believe that it is his time right now.
It is.
This dude has been absolutely hooping throughout this playoff series, and it's just the thing about SGA is that he is doing it on the backs of his teammates. He's playing through his teammates. He's helping them win. He's helping them feel better about themselves and giving them confidence. He's not going in the post-game conferences and saying, oh, well, I didn't get enough shots and I did this and this and that. And,
no.
Well, whatever. He's not taking any excuses. He's just saying, okay.
I see what you did. I know what you're doing there. You're setting up our shot. I like it. I like it.
He's like, okay, I'm just going to hoop and play basketball. And, we lost this one, but I'm going to be better. I'm going to take accountability for that, and I'm going to actually go out and do it. And you guys are going to see. And he's answering everybody in OKC's prayers. He will bring them a championship here in a second.
I think so.
He's that guy.
He's that guy. He is Timothy. Here's the thing, though. Here's where Ountae is so smooth, and I know him so well. He said that. He took that shot at. He's not sitting up there saying, I didn't get the shots. It ain't on me. Ountae's doing that because Anthony Edwards does that. Anthony Edwards, the last soundbite we played on Hold My Banner, was blaming everyone. I didn't shoot enough. I didn't get the ball. I didn't this. I didn't that. Right. After this game, Anthony Edwards now back-to-back Western Conference Finals L's. He talked about it. Take a listen.
It's exciting. I don't know why people would think it would hurt. I mean, it's exciting for me. I'm 23. I get to do it a whole bunch of times. I'm hurt more so for myself for Mike. I came up short for Mike. Like I said, we tried last year. We couldn't get it. We tried again this year. We're going to try again next year. But hurting is a terrible word to use. I'm good, yeah.
And considering, looking at Mike and his longevity, how hard it is to get there, does that put this in perspective at all, too?
Yeah, I'm going to work my butt off this summer. Nobody's going to work harder than me this summer, I'll tell you that much. So, yeah, I'll try to make it happen again for Mike.
Now, the Mike he was referring to is not Michael Jordan, which everyone has compared him to.
Yeah.
And that's clearly wrong. It was Mike Conley, who I do love as well.
Right.
But he's getting long in the tooth. We understand. I will caution Anthony Edwards, because I didn't hate anything he said there I did the last bite we ran to him last time. But I'll caution him that, look, back-to-back Western Conference Finals is awesome.
Right.
But it is so hard in sports, forget basketball, all of them, to get back to anything.
Yeah.
Okay? I remember Dan Marino, I think, went to the Super Bowl in his second year.
Yeah.
And he's this big phenom. And he gets smoked. And he goes, we'll be back. And he never even sniffed it again.
Right.
So I'm not suggesting that Anthony Edwards never gets a ring or never gets back to a Western Conference Finals. But I just think pump the brakes on. I'm young. We'll be back. Relax, bro.
Right.
That's not these opportunities are fleeting. We thought around here in this town it would be repeat city. Ountae and I will be at another championship parade turning up like we did. hey, we only got one.
Right.
We made it count.
Yes,
you dig?
we did.
But we also, though, as many of you, we're going to repeat as champs.
Right.
Forget about it. It's easy. Wrong. This stuff is hard, bro.
You need health. You need luck.
Yes.
You need, winning plays. We needed that JB corner three against the Pacers. You need those moments, and it definitely is difficult. What I do want to ask you though is, how did this Thunder team, get prepared by this Timberwolves team to win a championship? Like, what did the Timberwolves do to help the Thunder in the next series?
Get in their way. Listen, I already told you, and you're giving more credit than I even am to the Nuggets. Maybe the Nuggets helped them.
Yeah.
Timberwolves didn't help Shaq. They didn't help anything.
Yeah.
Look, this happens. As we just said, how hard it is to win titles.
Yeah.
And you laid out some, things have to bounce the right way. This has to go the right way. The stars need to be aligned. All true.
Yeah.
Right now, it's the Thunder's time, and we can all feel it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying Haliburton, who you've disrespected, doesn't go to the finals and maybe shock the world.
Yeah.
We see upsets too, don't we? But let's be honest with what we're watching, with what we're analyzing. This is what we do for a living. We talk about it. I mean, we're all talking here. Doesn't it just feel like it's the Thunder's time? Like everything's aligning for them. Everything's rolling. I don't know what you do against SGA. I don't. You told me how to guard Haliburton.
Yeah.
How do you guard SGA?
You don't.
Because when you give him space, he buries you with shots.
Mm-hmm.
If you crowd him, he's going to get by you because he's so shifty, so quick, so agile.
Yeah.
And then he gets to the rim and gets fouled. People call him a free throw merchant. I don't see that. James Harden was a free throw merchant.
Yeah.
Now, SGA flops.
Mm-hmm.
Jaylen Brunson flops. But I don't look at these guys as like free throw merchants. I think SGA, when I watch his game, it seems smooth, silky.
Yeah.
He kind of plays Derrick White-ish in that he lets the game come to him. I never feel like SGA's forcing anything. Am I seeing it right?
Yeah, look, let me tell you about this. It's exactly how you guard Kevin Durant. And this is the reason that I bring this up. Because KD would always talk about the reason that he's not the guy that always goes off for 60 and 70 and 80 and all this other stuff is because he makes 2 shots and the defense completely changes on him. He gets 5, 6, 7 different looks defensively throughout the game, right? It's the same thing that teams are trying to do. Good teams, at least. The Nuggets definitely did it against SGA, which is as soon as he makes a couple of looks, you have to change it up. What the Timberwolves did in Game 4 that really opened up the ability for them, or was it Game 2 that they won, or Game 3 that they won?
I mean, I can't remember what I had for lunch today, so I'm the worst person to ask.
Anyways, the game, I believe it was Game 4 or Game 3, but whatever. Anyways, that game, when the Timberwolves won big, it was what they did was they forced SGA to do a lot of things that he hasn't seen in this series yet. They were running him off ball screens. Anytime that he got in the paint, they collapsed and said, hey, make shooters shoot, you know what I'm saying? And they went under ball screens on them high and made him take the top of the key 3 off the dribble, right? He wasn't prepared for it.
No.
But in Game 5, when they closed it out last night, he adjusted. He was prepared for it. He hit a couple of threes.
Great players do.
Right off the top of the key. He was ready, and he was ready to do that. But if you can make him have to change looks multiple times throughout the game, and he doesn't know what's coming, then that's when he gets a little sloppy. That's when he had late game turnovers against the Nuggets, you know what I mean? Because they were changing looks on him. Those type of things can help you out when you're facing the guy this good. You can't go into a game with, oh, this is just how we're guarding that guy. You have to know throughout the game, we're going to throw a lot of different looks at this guy if we want to have a chance at winning.
Well, then listen, I mean, I know we have forever to do NBA Finals previews, which we'll do here on Hold My Banner. But just hearing you talk, the Pacers, that's a tough matchup. That's not how they play. They want to play up and down, helter-skelter, fast break. Well, SGA's going to average 50 on your head top. It's that simple.
He might, and if he's that good, I have to ask you this question. Is he better? Is this team, current Thunder team, better than that 2011-2012 Finals losers against the Miami Heat Thunder team with Kevin Durant, Westbrook, James Harden?
I mean, those dudes were babies then, and I would still take that team because of star power. Like, SGA would probably cook. But, like, I'm taking the old Thunder.
I don't understand why you were getting upset at me for saying that, you know, star power matters for the Pacers and, you know, we just talking about.
How did we end up on the Pacers?
I'm just saying, because you're like, star power matters now all of a sudden, but the Pacers don't have the stars to compete with the Thunder. They don't.
Y'all see what I'm dealing with? But here's the good thing about Hold My Banner. There is a game sweeping New England called Game Time with Tay. We never know what it's going to be, but I hear this time it's about drip. We'll do it next right here on Hold My Banner. How we get to the Pacers?
I don't know, bro. You had to break.
Welcome back into Hold My Banner. All right, Tay, before we get to your game, sweeping New England, let's talk about what's next for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, let's do it. Look, here's the thing. I think the Timberwolves need to do something to just get another guard in there to help
Shake it
take
up.
the. Yeah, man. They need somebody who's going to run the offense for them that's a little bit younger than Mike Conley. I like Mike Conley, but what did he do in Game 5? He was an absolute nothing. We heard the clip.
He looked old. He looked old.
We heard the clip, and they're like, we want to do it for Mike. Yeah, but Mike needs to come off the pine. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
In order to get this done.
Yes.
They're a team that has been spending. They made the trade for Julius Randle. We didn't know if it was going to work. They need to re-sign him and bring him back. He has a player option, so I'm saying I would like to see them sign him for a long-term deal so that he understands that he's here. They want him here. They want him to be here for the long run. He's now a part of the Timberwolves family. If they can do that and sign him to a long-term deal and maybe bring in a Dillingham to get a couple more minutes here.
Makes sense.
A Terrence Clark, a couple more minutes here. I don't know what they're going to do with the Nickeil Alexander-Walker contract. He's going to be a free agent this summer, so I'm not sure if he's going to come back.
Yeah.
But if they can re-sign Julius Randle, I think that's the biggest thing that they can do. Maybe adding a guy here in the draft. I'm not sure. But, this team is right there. They're right there. They just need continuity.
I think that's why we heard that soundbite from the other, segment where Anthony Edwards was saying, we'll be back. And I'm saying it's fleeting. Don't be so cocky about it. But he's probably right. Yeah. I mean, hearing you talk, the one thing they can do, too, I like all your additions. I'm with you. But I don't know how you work on this, but Anthony Edwards himself needs to figure out how I can be more consistent, the closer, the killer, this guy everyone's ordained me to be. You got to figure out how to be a little more consistent with that because he had absolutely clunker performances throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, I wouldn't say throughout the playoffs, but definitely towards the end of this series.
Enough times.
With the Thunder.
Yeah.
It was definitely one of those things. It's something that I brought up before the series even started. He has to be able to take over games.
Sure.
He has to be able to take over games, which he's done, and then turn that into taking over series, right?
Yes.
Because he has to be the guy, like we gave SGA a lot of credit, Western Conference Finals MVP, all this other stuff, and it's because he took over the series, and Jalen Williams as well, you know what I mean, took over the series.
Facts.
But if they're going to be able to get to the finals, we have to see both him and Julius Randle take over a series where they're averaging 50 points a game together easily and a couple of assists and a couple rebounds, and we're looking up and we're like, oh my God, these dudes are so great. I think he ran out of gas against the Mavericks last year. I think we saw him run out of gas a little bit at the end of this series. That cannot happen if he's going to be able to make it to the finals like he says he will.
Get your gas tank right, son. Luka, you too. I hope you're listening too. Your gas tank is on E, dog, constantly. You need to fix that too. All right, and now it's time for a game. Sweeping New England. Game time with Tay.
We got Wicked or Get It.
Come on. We're still working on the budget. We'll get a theme song. Right now, we're manufacturing it. What do we got?
First up, we got the Western Conference Finals MVP, SGA. How do you feel about this fit, Travis Thomas?
Let me see.
Shout out to the OKC Thunder for this picture.
Okay, thank you, Jenna, because I couldn't see nothing. You know I'm old. You had to take that full for your boy. Okay, this feels like a mechanic with a cigarette hanging out his mouth. I'm out, just bring it on down by the garage. I'll fix the alternator for you. Ain't no problem. Come on, man. You the MVP. You worth all type of money. You look like a mechanic, man. What is that?
Nah, I don't even think you noticed the gloves. I saw the gloves in his hand, and I was thinking, come on.
Oh, there's gloves. Is there just one? Is it just one or two gloves?
It's two.
Oh, all right.
It's actually, when I saw this fit, it took me back to, what is that dance movie?
What?
Step Up. Step Up, where bro is dancing in the rain with a backwards cap. And he's got the fro on, you know what I'm talking about? He's
hey, you gotta Photoshop that. We gotta do something with that.
I thought he was finna break dance up out of there, dog. He was feeling so good. He was feeling like Michael Jackson and bro from Step Up, dog.
It's too many combos. It's a mechanic with the Michael Jackson gloves. Yeah. Are you a Jabberwocky? Like, what's going on? Like, it's too many.
He did the Jabberwocky mask, dog.
Who's next?
Not the Jabberwocky mask. All right, next up, we got another guy who I'm clearly sleeping on. We got Tyrese Haliburton. How do you feel about this fit from him?
You ain't sleeping, you hating. And I'm hating on this. This is horrendous. What the Haliburton? This is ugly as hell. Is it a suit or some shorts? Pick a lane. I can't stand when all these guys do this, man. I just wear the full suit or don't. Wear shorts and a nice shirt. Yeah. What is the combo? Why are you wearing the sport coat with the shorts, bro? I can't do it anymore. Everybody does it, and I don't like it. Also, Janae, can you take it forward one more time? Is he bow-legged? Why is he walking like that?
Oh,
What's wrong with you, man?
I'm not going to lie. You know he's been hanging out with Caitlin Clark. Hopefully, Caitlin Clark, you get healthy soon. And this is not a dig at you.
Oh, here we go.
But it looks like he stole this out of your closet. I can't lie, dog. That's what I was thinking. It was like he spent the night, he had a sleepover at Caitlin's house with him and his girlfriend and Caitlin. They were watching movies, hanging out, watching Mean Girls.
I wasn't
And then next thing you know, he was like, you know what? I just feel so inspired. I'm walking in with my Mean Girls mom fit, and he wore this to the arena.
He told Caitlin, that's so fetch. Jenna, can you take it forward one more again? Just because I feel like I'm getting principal vibes here, but like not the cool principal that knows you're smoking in the bathroom. No. This is the stickler. This is the one like, I'm going to my office and I'm going to write you up right now and I'm calling your mother.
Not your knees. Hey, but put this back on camera real quick. I can't lie. Not your knees shaking when you did it. You said some,
you know the principal when they get mad, I'm calling your mother this time.
You got to shake them knees when you do
Who's
it.
next?
Hey, nah, hold on. I got to say if it's wicked or kicking, all right, dog? I'm kicking it, obviously. I got to give it a rating. I don't even give SGA a rating. You're running me through.
I like making fun of people.
SEA, I'm going to give him like a 6.4 out of 10, and then I'm going to give Tyrese Haliburton a kick, and I'm going to give it a, Caitlin Clark.
4.
Caitlin Clark, a 22, a 2.2 out of 10.
Yeah, we kicking it back to her house where it belongs.
All right, next we got a guy who may or may not get a 0 like a bunch of his stats are. PJ Tucker.
Oh, I like PJ Tucker. Well, take it forward for me, Jenny. Oh, man, what is this? First of all, again, with the pants short suit, or I don't even know what to call it, it looks like he has a whole different outfit that he should be wearing in his hands, like with shoes, and I'm guessing there's some garments in that bag that's probably a better choice than this.
Yeah.
I'm getting UPS vibes here. I'm getting, hey, ding dong, UPS here. Yeah, I just need you to sign. You know his voice, Steve. I just need you to sign here, please. And don't let me answer the door. With PJ Tucker as a UPS, I'm answering the door. Well, hello, sir. How can I help you? Shouldn't you be getting rebounds? Why are you delivering this package to me? You got to look up at him.
Yeah, shout out to League Fits for this photo, by the way.
I'm kicking this back to UPS where it belongs.
The thing that I feel about this fit is as soon as I see it, I just think Friday. Like, how did you get fired on your day off? He looks like he's walking out with his bag, and he's like, I just got fired. He's putting the hat on that he had in his locker. He's just like, I can't carry this. I'm going to just throw this on top of my work fit. I'm walking out. I got the boots strapped up. Like, bro, I don't know how I got fired, dog,
On your day off.
On my day off. I don't even know. All I was doing was hollering at the lady in the back. I don't even know. I was telling her how much I liked her shirt.
Bro, I'm not going to hold you. So we're kicking this for the record.
Yes,
I do have a get fired on your day off story if we have time.
Yes,
what do I got? I got 2 minutes.
No, you got 4 minutes.
I'll tell it fast.
Yeah.
So one time, I'm not going to say the job.
Yeah.
But at one point, I was working a job that required good weather. We'll just say that. It was a seasonal job, okay?
Yeah.
And it was bad weather that particular day.
Okay.
Called my boss. Hello. Hey, it's Travis. Oh, hey, Travis. Good morning. Hey, I'm looking outside. It's pretty gloomy. Rain in the forecast. Starting to sprinkle. I walked out to be on the way to you. Just wanted to know, should I come in or stay home today?
Yeah.
He goes, well, I should have known. You ask a question, so I go, what the hell is
Right.
He goes, well, you don't need to worry about coming in.
Yeah.
I said, okay, cool, all right, great. See you tomorrow. Well, no, you don't need to worry about coming in. What do you mean, sir? Ever. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. First question: how you get fired on your day off, son? Dad, mind your business. True story.
That's insane. So whenever you watch Friday, you're like, it's a personal job.
It is what it is. Like, listen.
It's a personal job for you, huh?
Listen, there's nothing at this point in my life that can shock me, move me, really make me feel like, oh, woe is me. It was just like, all right, I'll find another job. Thanks.
Yeah.
But I did get fired on my day off, technically.
You know, that's messed up. You know who somebody I think is going to get fired on their day off?
Who?
Tom Thibodeau.
Well, we started the show making fun of New York fans.
I'm just saying, like,
we're going to end it there.
I'm just saying, like, come on, bro. Like, at this point,
but you got them winning tonight.
Yeah. But you
ain't really about that.
You don't think he should get fired? Hold on, because we got another like 90 seconds here. You don't think he should get fired? For real.
I mean,
like, be honest with me.
I do, but I think them beating the Celtics is why he won't. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I hear you. I think it's more of an Aaron Boone situation, like you said. Like, because he's made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, he's going to get a little bit of a runway here. But look, if I'm looking at you, Dolan, right now, James, look at me, right here. Look at me. I am the captain now. Look at me. You get that man up out of there. I know y'all were healthy this season.
Mike Malone could coach them.
Hey, and they would be nice.
Mike Malone could coach them.
They would be nice, and I guarantee you, they would be running Haliburton off screen and fighting with people.
Yes, absolutely.
Them doing what they're doing to Josh Hart is disrespectful, by the way. What they're doing to him is disrespectful, and that's why they're losing this series, because he's their tough guy, and they're saying, oh, well, we're good enough without you. I'm not rocking with that.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, sorry, New York. Bing bong. It's not working out for you, is it? It's working out for us, though. Travis Thomas, Ountae Campbell, and you. We always appreciate you holding it down here on Hold My Banner with us. Till next time when we ask you to hold it again. Peace.